Well, good morning, everyone. We are live February the 22nd, 2026. 2026, my God. I hope everyone's doing well. If you can hear me, give me a heads up, thumbs up. Fair Parenting Podcast is in the room. Sandra, good to have you, Sandra. Good luck on the cooking at 11. Sergeant Major, USMC, good to have you here, buddy. You're always here. Appreciate you. Let's see who else we got. The winner for today's session being the first one here. You guys let me know if I'm live on Twitter, please. It's showing that I'm not. I don't understand that. Oh, these things, I tell you what. Let's just see what's happening here. You guys repost the room. Let's get some people in here. I think it's going to be a good morning. We're going to talk about a number of things that I have been quite aware of here recently. Yeah, I'm live on 22 people. Woo, 22 people in the room. Let's repost the room. Not sure what's happening here. But we are going to have a good morning. I've been doing a lot of thinking this week, and I think there's a lot to talk about just to stay on point. I think what we're doing here, what I'm doing here, trying to use the power of these two words, I am Gary Cardone. That does not limit me to being Gary Cardone. We're going to talk a little bit about, like how does a Bob Smith become a Bob Smith, and is he limited? Is Bob Smith a Mary Jones, a Gary Cardone? Is he limited to what he believes he is, in what he imagines he is, or in fact, is he simply a composite makeup of what everybody else thinks he is and what they think reality is? All right. And I think this is very, very important, because if I am a character that's basically made up from social understandings, from family beliefs about who I am or who our family was or what we do, and the whole story of how we got here. The reason I'm bringing that up is that if I'm not clear on who wrote my story, like who wrote my story, am I writing my story, or has my story been written for me by my family, society, teachers, doctors, lawyers, and whatever else I did or did not study about reality? Compare that now. Why am I bringing it up? Because the reason I'm bringing it up is clearly I'm being slaughtered, absolutely hammered, as are you, with a tremendous amount of information out there. Most of it negative, scary, concerning, interbulating, disrupting. I mean, it's hard to search for news on anything positive today. Can everybody agree with that? Okay, so my world is most certainly being irradiated with negativity, and that's what we're going to talk about this week. Hey, how do we get beyond that? What are we looking for? What are the danger signs? And I think there's a lot of danger signs, and there's some things to do. I think these things to do, the actions that are necessary to take to defend against the onslaught of chaotic news and information and fear, I really do believe that I'm going to have to inventory. I'm going to have to inventory what I'm listening to, what I'm reading, what I'm watching, who my friends are, the very space that I create around me, whether I pop into a X space, or whether I go watch news on Fox, or whether I read a newspaper or a book. Okay. I cannot, uh, I cannot not confront that society and the things around me most certainly creates at least an image, or the way I look at the world, right? It frames up the way I look at the world. Okay, we must have something going on here that's weird, and it does take my attention when there's only 129 people in a room. It's really odd, right? Not sure what's going on here. I will do the room as if there's 10 million people in it, but it's a little odd. So if anybody's got any ideas of what may be going on, I stopped using LinkedIn. Does anybody pay for LinkedIn, or is that free? Anyway, I stopped using LinkedIn because of Reid Hoffman's relationship to, he's all over the Epstein folders, and he's a bad guy. I didn't need to see that he was in the Epstein folders to know that he was a bad guy. Bad guy trying to change politics, voting. Some of these people will do anything. I'm actually starting to get pretty convinced that there's going to be two types of people on this planet. There's going to be the types of people that decide they want to evolve. They want to evolve and go and transcend acting like rats. And I think then there's about the 98% of the rest of the world that they're not going to confront that we're rats. They're gonna say things like, "Hey, you're being negative." I was accused of being negative yesterday. I thought the guy was saying some really kind things. Hey, you and your brother have done so much good, but you're so negative, and I'm surprised that I was called negative. I don't think maybe I am being negative. Or maybe I'm being realistic. There is a lot of negative news on this planet right now. There's chaos. As I was preparing for this meeting, I wrote down the perpetual noise of betrayal, chaos, polarization, insanity, shock, and awe. Remember the shock and awe program the military ran on Iraq? I think the shock and awe is being run on humanity right now in overflow of scary news. Duplicity, the tale of two worlds. This is noise, okay? This is what I listened to this week. Duplicity, tale of two worlds, the rich, the super broke, the powerful, the non-powerful, the evil, and the good people. I'm not even sure that the ratio is even fair anymore. The good people versus the evil people. There seem to be so many evil people. Why? Because no one posts anything about Gary. Hey, Gary Cardone did a show and there was 180 people in his church today. That's good news. The amount of confusion, it all leads to one thing. Hey, look, we're being slammed with so much negative news. Why? And how do I insulate myself from it? How do I live in a world where there's a group of people that are just looking at all the chaos? They're chewing, eating, loving chaos. They're having sex orgasm with the chaos. And like, I see people staying up for like 14 hours talking about crazy stuff. Now, me just talking about things over and over and over again, I actually think I end up on a treadmill, and a treadmill, it's not the right word, a hamster wheel, and I don't get off. It just keeps getting bigger. The hamster wheel just keeps getting bigger, but I never get off. Okay, I am interested in getting off of the hamster wheel, financially, spiritually, philosophically. Okay. How do I get off the hamster wheel? I'm going to draw a hamster wheel because I like doing these kind of things. See, I like drawing the hamster wheel and then placing myself in it and going, hey, is that really where I want to be? No matter how big or how fancy this freaking uh, fi- hamster wheel is, it is a hamster wheel. Okay. It goes nowhere, using energy to accomplish very little. It's got to be boring for the rat, right? Like when I see people talking about Bitcoin over and 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 over again, it's moved $2. Man, these people are so overweighted with Bitcoin that they're having to watch a $2 price. And look, I'm not making fun of you, okay? I promise you, I am not making fun of anyone. I'm not diminishing anyone. I think it's awesome that we have built communities. Okay, but there's something weird, something non-productive about that phenomena. And I'm just using Bitcoin because it's a really easy example, right? Oh, wow, people stay up 12 hours talking about the Epstein folders and it's literally the same thing over and over and over. Now, look, I am not belittling anyone, okay? I promise you, I am not. The point I'm trying to make is we are choosing to stick our nose and our beingness in particular environments. After I learn something, I don't think I need to relearn it over and over and over again. Economics 101. When supply exceeds demand, prices will fall. And when demand exceeds supply, prices will go up. Now, that's an axiom. Okay. It's a rule. It's not going to break. When supply exceeds demand, prices fall. When demand exceeds supply, prices go down. Now, if I am listening to hours and hours and hours and watching and reading hours and hours of negative, scary, betrayal, chaos, polarization, insanity, shock and awe, duplicity, tale of two worlds, evil, confusion, psyops, am I going to be tuned in to I am? Or am I literally bombarding my mind? What is my mind? My mind is my sovereignty. Okay, Bitcoin does not give me sovereignty. My mind gives me sovereignty. I give myself sovereignty or I don't. I like that, dude. I give myself sovereignty or I do not. Hey, if you don't have your book, go get your book. Okay, we're not in a rush. There's not many people in here. Give myself sovereignty. I give myself sovereignty. Only I. Okay, no Bitcoin, no dollars, no wealth, no private beaches, no girlfriend, no cars, no helicopters. I give myself sovereignty, as do you. Okay. Now, why am I saying that? Because I get to decide when I walk into a room, there's 800 people and only 8 of them are talking. And they're usually the same 8. One, hey, am I hanging out with these cats to have fun? If so, let's pop a beer and let's tell jokes. If I am trying to solve problems and I keep going over the same problem over and over and over and over again, I'm pretty sure I do not have the solution to that problem. Problems, when confronted with the right solution, go away and another problem is created. But if you aren't solving a problem, it's because you're not attacking the problem correctly, period, man. Okay? Like it's just not complicated. If you, like me, this week were feeling confused, chaotic, betrayed, polarized, distrusting of other people is polarization. Tremendous distrust for other people right now. A great distrust for authority. Oh, by the way, everybody say a little prayer for Mike Mack. He's in the hospital right now. He's having an emergency gallbladder surgery. Yeah, let's send him some really cool, positive energy. He's an awesome human being. Mike Mack, you're going to be fine, buddy. He's in a hospital in Texas somewhere right now. So you guys share some love with him. Smash him on X. He's a good man. And by the way, while you're saying a prayer for Mike Mack, why don't you say a prayer for the rest of this planet that we get some clarity? Say a prayer for me, most certainly. I need it, man. Okay? I need it because it is very hard. I am having to be really, really, really disciplined right now with the amount of noise coming into my universe or that I tap into. I'm finding it very, very, well, I think people should take a lot of time with themselves right now. I think people should have a lot of quiet time. I've even been like, hey, let me turn the music off. Now, little trick here. I have some chimes in my yard. I love these chimes. I'm sure you guys have heard these things. They're just it's a beautiful music without me actually having to pay attention to it. But what I noticed this week in particular with all the crazy news going on, I mean, who's getting excited about our leaders right now, right? Zero people. No one. The tale of two worlds, right? The haves, the haves not, the crazy evil people, and those that aren't. See, the problem that we have right now is the crazy people will do whatever it takes. They're high action people. Okay, the crazy people, the psychotics. Okay, psychosis always goes too far. They have no stop, man. Okay, they have no stop whatsoever. There is no red line. They don't get uh, they never meet a point of maximum consumption. There is no limit to how much they'll take. You need to understand that they're highly insecure people. Okay, highly flawed, insecure. They're not flawed. They're damaged. Okay, deeply damaged, flawed, narcissistic people who they don't have to be many of them. You get two of these people in a room with 400 people, and they will create 20 or 40 people in a group of 400 that are completely fucked up. Okay, this is why I don't get involved in companies anymore that go beyond 150 people. Once you get past 150 people, I'm out, man. I'm out. It goes crazy. So when I was told this weekend that hey, you need to be more positive, after me saying, hey, look, this planet, we are on, I think we have to have a revolution, okay? I really believe that there is no way you fix this problem. And it's not just America. This is a global problem now. It's a global problem that's been created by a small group of people. And if you don't think that we are losing our country and our freedom and our spirit, then all you have to do is look at the United Kingdom. This is a country that has been in control forever, and they have completely lost the plot and gone. They cannot turn this around. It's not possible. In fact, I would say the UK and the Anglo-Dutch are probably our biggest enemies on the planet, along with the Israelis who just keep, I am so sorry, but like, dude, you guys keep smashing. There's just, I do not serve BB, whatever his name is, okay? I do not, my patriotism is not to any country other than the United States. And if the United States is betraying us by serving some other higher master, fuck the United States of America. How's that? See, and I don't want to say that, but when I say that, I'm like, man, this is going to be so hard. I'm going to get hammered. I'm going to probably, end up with lawsuits and problems. And I'm feeling this pressure already. I can't imagine what other people are feeling. They're like, I'm out, dude. I'm not going to do this. How much can you pay me I'll talk. No problem. I'll be your speaking post. Look, this is a hard battle. Okay. Good against evil right now. This is it. This is happening. Okay. It's happening. And I know it's happening because it's attacking my clarity. See, if it's attacking my clarity, it's attacking your clarity. Why is there only 340 people in here? Now, maybe there's never been more than 344 people in here. Okay, see, now I start distrusting everything. These numbers, X numbers. Okay, so I'm off post, but let me try to center here. When I was told, hey, be more positive, it really hit me. And I think the guy was trying to be constructive. Okay. I don't think he was trying to be a bad guy. I don't even know what his name is. I think it was John, well-spoken guy. And like, I listened to that. See, for me, that's really good feedback, man. He said it in front of a bunch of people. And then I get to go, I didn't even respond to him. He probably found it odd that I didn't respond to him. But you know what? I have learned not to respond instantly to everything unless I actually have been able to digest it. That's a big maturity move for me. By the way, maturity sounds really boring. It's a smart move. Okay. Not just mature. It is a smart move for me not to have to respond to everything instantly. Just to do what? To protect my perceived power or position with everyone in spaces so that the audience knows, oh, Gary had a good comeback. Or, hey, wow, that guy thinks I'm negative, man. Am I negative Nelly? And then I wrote this down. This was my prep for this morning. Am I negative Nelly? Or or am I a negative Nelly? Am I being a realist? Okay. I mean, I'm just trying to look at the situation and go, wow, all our politicians are criminals. Professional politicians are criminal. Red, white, blue, green, I don't really care. The red, white, and blue flag and the white and blue flag seem to be involved in every catastrophe on this planet. So the Israelis and the Jews, you guys can all, block me and cock me and do whatever you want to do. But like, let's all Americans, please, let's pick who is it? Is it red, white, and blue or white and blue? But it is not like Iraq and Palestine and Africa are not blowing up fucking mainstream pipelines going to Europe. They're not creating terror. They're not like, I don't see their flags all over the place. I see two flags everywhere. Everywhere, man. So pick one. It's either both of us, it's one of us, or yeah, I don't think there is any other answer. So fucking take some responsibility, okay? By the way, the results of if all we have to do is look at the planet, we don't need to blame anybody. Someone is creating a shit show here. This does not happen organically by itself. This kind of fighting is always done with some third party, somebody just creating tremendous amounts of chaos. They're chaos merchants, man. Chaos merchants, okay? I want you to write the word chaos merchant down because it's going to lead me to where I'm headed, okay? I've said a number of times, and welcome here, by the way. Welcome if you are here for the first time. If you are here for the first time, would you let me know in the comments? And also let me know, are you watching on X, Rumble? Did I lose anyone when I cut LinkedIn's feed? I can't imagine. Does anybody actually use LinkedIn? And I'm on Rumble. I'm sure very few people. I don't really know how to get any kind of presence on Rumble. Um, just looking over some of my notes from prior sessions. Uh, funny the things that jump out at you, you know. Uh, and what just jumped out at me is, what is death? That was from that was from 2 weeks ago. Why am I thinking that? Well, the reason I'm thinking that is because I think we all need to confront. I mean, does everybody agree that this week and last week was like, hey, this is going now next level? We were moving into, if this was electricity shocks, if you were sitting in a chair being electrocuted, I would suggest that everything that happened in 2025 is a minor little carpet charge. You know how you run across the floor and you get electric shock, compared to the first, what do we got? 53 days of 2026. I feel like we have added like 10 amps, a shitload of voltage, and it's every day. Bang, bang, bang. And I think you need to consider, one, is that true? If it's true, if the volume of noise, interference, negative energy, wow, it's awesome. I'm watching, it's a really foggy, cloudy day out here. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. It's looks like it wants to rain, but I'm watching two dolphins out, and the water's splashing around because it's got waves. Two dolphin out there just smashing bait, and they just water just go up 10, 12 feet. It's amazing to watch. See, none of this wildlife out here, by the way, that have been around longer than we have. These dolphins been around a lot longer. The tarpon out here been around longer than they have. These birds, pink, white, blue, they're not all jacked up. Okay, they're not all flying around, swimming, all emotionally jacked up on insanity. Okay, it is the human beings that are insane. This is amazing. You start comparing, and I know it's, people will laugh at me. You can't compare animals and human beings. Really? I think I can learn a lot from animals. I mean, that comment alone shows the hubris of humanity. We haven't been around that long. We don't even know where we came from. Okay, but we haven't been around that long, and to suggest that there's another species out there that is inferior to me, it just the hubris. Like I can't learn. I can't learn how to live in peace. And this is probably, and as some of you guys know, I'm trying to figure out what the truth is for me. And so sometimes I will just speak out loud as to what I'm thinking. And I think, I don't see the dolphin and the birds sticking their nose into X, reading Fox News, getting heavily engaged in politics, and then spending 4, 5, 6 hours a day thinking about it, or maybe even more. Much less, one thing thinking about it, another thing is bathing in it, bathing in all this noise without the action. See, the action for me is, oh, now what am I going to do about this? Okay, if I'm getting a lot of negativity in, if I'm being bombarded, if my I am, listen, if you would have had the I ams fixed up 5 years when you were 5 years old, if you would have been doing this since 5, you wouldn't probably even be sticking your nose in any of these spaces. You would be so far above and beyond the noise of low harmonics, low frequency. You ever walk into a rave bar at 1 o'clock in the morning and you're exhausted? You don't want to be there. It's so loud. You walk. I've walked. I've had people pay $2,000 to get me in a nightclub. I walk in. 8 minutes later, I'm out. Okay, and I asked the guy not to buy the ticket. I'm like, bro, don't spend $2,000 on me. Why? It's too much noise for me, and it's not just the noise. It's the lights, the noise, the energy. People too close to me. I don't care how many of them are women. It's a shit show for me. I feel hyper compressed. That's the way I'm feeling in real life, man. Okay. So, what is the action? What is the action I'm doing? I'm disconnecting. Okay. I'm disconnecting. Am I a negative Nelly or am I being realistic about what's going on? Am I aware finally of what's actually happening out there? If I'm not even aware of the actual facts, who, what, and when, at this point, I don't need to know the who, what's, and whens. Are you looking for the who, what's, and whens? If you're looking for the who, what's, and whens, I'm going to be critical here. I'm going to make a judgment. Not going to be critical, but I'm going to make a judgment. If you're looking for the who, what's, and whens, one, you're going to be disappointed. Who, what, and when, okay? You will be disappointed, but also I think you're into the drama. You're into the drama, man. Now, you know the who, what, and when? We need to know who the victims were. Okay, and honor every victim. And I am not saying that we all don't deserve to know everyone that's been involved in anything that's been really bad, criminal, any kind of badness. Okay, like, hey, maybe it's the period for transparency. We are living in, we just did some kind of astronomical flip over into Aquarius, I think, and something with Aries, or I don't know anything about this, but like we are moving into a world of one of two worlds, either deep, dark opacity, darker than what we have today, which is about as dark as it gets. Because we don't have any transparency. None. Okay. We talk about transparency, but we don't really have any. We have none and have had none for we have opacity and lies. It's either lies. Well, opacity. What does the word opacity mean for some of you guys? Opacity means opaque. It comes from opaque. Okay, opaque means can't see through. Blocked, solid. Okay. Where there is opacity, I learned this very, very, very early on in my career. Where there is opacity in anything, there is a lie, a mistake, an error, shame, guilt. Okay. Those five things are most certainly there. A lie, a sin, an illegal act, some negligence, mistake, and an error that people are, and shame, all built around shame and fear of losing something. Okay. Opacity leads to abuse every time. In fact, the abuse started, and then they do opacity to cover it up. Okay. They cover up the mistake. It could start very, very simply, by the way. I mean, it doesn't have, if you read the story about Enron, I mean, Enron, if Enron would have cleaned up the mistake they made that got them to where they were, they would have fixed the problem 15 years. They were doing this for years and years and years and years. Solving problems. They had a problem. Okay. Who, what, and when. If I am looking for the who, what, and when, I think I am into the drama, man. Hey, this is what you should do right now. If you agree with me, and there's a tale of two worlds, and one world is just filled up with noise, are you being brought the noise, or are you going to the noise? And by the way, how much time do I need to spend in that cesspool? Because every moment I spend in the cesspool of fear, chaos, worry, shame, guilt, And this is what this man said, "Hey, man, you need to be more positive." I think I am really positive, actually. And maybe what I was saying that and maybe I re-stimulated him in some way. Maybe I triggered him. Hate to use these words, but maybe because I was saying, "Hey, look, man, I'm going to start thinking in 2 years. I'm going to start thinking today for 2 to 4 years forward. Do I want to remain in this country? If this country goes where I think it might be going, I think I have an obligation just to myself, not and my children, but I'm don't have an obligation to stay in the United States. I can choose to go somewhere else on this planet." And I actually was saying, "Hey, I think Moscow, Russia would be an awesome place to live. I think Putin's done a great job. I don't see him as the guy that's creating all these problems. And if he is, we are really weak because Russia is a small country, nuclearized or not. Um, I love their people. Okay. I like everyone in that part of the world. I think those people have good ethics. They're Christians for the most part. They're good people. They don't have to be Christians. Okay. Um, to be good people. They seem to be happy. Their food seems to be safer than ours. So maybe as an American, that is offensive to some people. And they go, "Wow, here's Gary Cardone, a red, white, and blue American, dude. I'm as a patriotic. I'd go to war today." Okay. Like I regret that I didn't go into the military. Okay. Because I think for me, like selfishly, I think I would have enjoyed being in the military. What I know about the military today, I am so glad I didn't go into it, because we're not fighting anything worth fighting for. I don't know a war we're into that I support. I don't know a war that we've ever been into that I support, and I don't know one war that we have been involved in. I'm 60. I'll be 68 years old next month, and I don't know one war that we've been into that anyone can tell me what the purpose of it was. I mean, cool, dude. You want to go to Vietnam and grab their bamboo or a warm water port, or like, tell me that's the reason, and I'm good to go. Tell me you want to take over Venezuela because they have something there that you need. Okay, got it. But like, let's quit making it about religions, and we have to quit killing people. Okay, like this is not sustainable. This is crazy. See, even the noise is so heavy on me right now. See, I keep coming back to this. And maybe that is an absolute wonderful explanation for you guys, okay? I am very good at what I'm doing here. But like this stuff I really know really well. I am so convinced I'm right. That's why I'm doing this. Everybody wants me to turn this into some kind of monetary platform. I'm like, I don't need to turn it into a monetary platform, okay? Why don't we just do it out of the goodness of our heart? Okay, I don't need to advertise it. Maybe y'all can advertise it for me. I mean, I need some help around it, but I don't want to turn this into a business. Okay, what I want to do is I want to figure out, how does a human being who's sitting in a world of mass confusion and betrayal and lies, can he transcend that? Because I think my great asset, see, I hear this concept about sovereignty all the time. I've never heard the word sovereignty more than when I've come into Bitcoin. And I've given this concept a lot of thought, because people tend to suggest that sovereignty is the ability to carry money around with you, and not tell anyone, and not ask for permission, and not have any accounting. And maybe that is a definition of sovereignty, but I think sovereignty, because I have the ability to do that right now. Okay. I have a lot of money sitting in this room over here. I can get up, move it, get on a plane, and leave. I have sovereignty. Okay. US dollar makes good sovereignty. Everybody will take my US dollars. The real sovereignty is here. Okay. It's in my behavior and my thoughts. It is in what I choose to do or not do. Okay. If you throw me in jail, in prison, because I'm saying, hey, I think the Israelis and the Americans are criminals at this point. Okay. I do not support the America supporting any country above and beyond its own people. I do not believe in America picking a small little country and going, hey, we're going to play with you forever and ever. Like, show me the proof of work, man. Okay. Is there some advantage you're bringing me other than threatening to nuke us? Okay. Or are you bringing me food? Are you bringing me technology? Are you bringing me some kind of awesome solution? Do you have something that's magical? Because let's partner up. Okay. But it does not, a good partnership should not stop me from partnering with other good partners who have other things. Sovereignty. Let's get back to that. I don't care how many Bitcoin I do or do not have. If I am not in control of my universe around me, if I cannot even communicate properly, if I can't bring people together in my circle, am I sovereign with all my Bitcoin? Sovereignty means I'm free to make decisions. I can do things. I can communicate. I can actually create. Okay. If my sovereignty is I'm going to go join Fred or Bob or Joe or Mary's space and talk about rape and pillage over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, I don't think I'm being sovereign. I think I'm being sovereign when I turn it off. I turn it off. As soon as I turn off the news, it's like, wow, that's nice, man. I can almost see the energy go. I can see me. I would love to have a device that actually measures. You remember these mood rings? I would like to see the energy because, for instance, if I'm doing something, like if I'm sketching or something, and I'm listening, sometimes I can listen to these guys and sketch, and I'm having a good time, But as soon as I turn it off, I can actually say this. As soon as I turn the news off, if that is news, one, the energy around me changes massively. I can feel the grindy kind of like glass shards in the air of everybody's fear. You stick your nose in a room with 3,000 people. Do not believe you're not picking up some of their emotions. Okay, have you ever felt energy from a speaker on a video like this where you go, "Whoa, dude, this guy's like reaching into the camera and like communicating with me. I can feel his energy." Well, be aware when you go on some of these YouTube things or spaces or news, like notice the energy, man. Okay. As soon as I turn it off, I immediately see. Then if I turn music on or whatever, okay, something gentle, something uplifting, that's interesting. I have the sovereign ability to put my antenna, put me into the right frequencies or the wrong frequencies for me. It's not right or wrong frequencies. Joe may love that frequency. Okay, for me, I got to ask myself, hey, is this a good frequency for me? It may be enjoyable. It may be exciting. It may be funny, but is it good for my sovereignty? Is it good for me as an entity to spend so much time in confusion and talking about confusion? Okay. I think not. Okay. I think I need to focus on the part that's not fun and sexy, the future. Okay. Something peaceful, something that doesn't have an instant dopamine hit. And by the way, dopamine does not mean that I have to be uh, giving accolades and feel good about myself. The dopamine may be that I'm feeling shame or I see two people arguing. I kind of like it. Okay. There are people running spaces right now that literally love getting everyone jacked up because it brings people in the room. Am I blaming these people? Only for being dumb as a bag of rocks, okay? I mean, I'm not blaming them for being bad. They're doing what rats do when there's a little free cheese popping around, okay? Free cheese in every rat trap. Free cheese in every rat trap. So, what do I have to do? If you guys believe that, if you believe that I am the sovereign, it has nothing to do with money. Because if you threw me in prison, whether prison breaks me or I break prison, it is up to me. Okay. Like I may lose a lot of my freedoms. I may lose my home and my luxury items and my baths, but I don't have to lose me. You can't take that away from me. I can only take it away from me. Why would I take it away from me? Because I am not strong enough. I have broken myself focused on the other 80%. 80% of the people on this planet have no clue what to do. They're going to end up unhappy, lonely, sad, disillusioned rats in a trap. 80%, I think over 80%. Just go interview old people, man. Hey, what? Give me your regrets, man. Tell me your regret. Tell me what you didn't do that you wish you would have done. I've never heard one of these people say, "Oh, Gary, man, dude, I just had so many great adventures. I just had too many of them. I had so many great friends, dude. Like, I just couldn't even handle another friend. I knew myself so well. I was strong. I was as strong a human being as anyone. I have no regrets. I stood up to everyone. Dude, I think everyone, okay? Like, see this feedback loop, right? That you get. People get a feedback loop, okay? Guy runs a space. 5 people show up. He's talking about goodness and wonder. Guy runs another space. He's talking about chaos, insanity over and over, and he gets 5,000 people in a room. The dopamine hit is, hey, that worked. Throw the free cheese out there. What's the free cheese? No one wants to talk about peace, dude. Nobody wants to talk about I am. Nobody wants to talk about transcending a spiritual frequency. Yeah, not really. It's not, it's boring. Okay. The only reason it's not boring to me is I'm terrified of the options. Okay. Like I think this is a karma play for me. In fact, it is a karma play for me. I have always believed in karma, and I don't need to know the word karma. Okay. It makes so much sense to me that, wow, do good today, and I probably am going to be well served tomorrow. Do bad things today, and gosh, I'm probably going to be wearing some baggage. Like, there's no way for me to be a bad guy and not stack up baggage over for years and years, and then one day just decide to destroy myself because I'm so sick and tired of me as a human, as nothing, as a plague on society. And so, what do people do when they get bad? They stop doing good things. They stop doing all things because they're scared they're going to hurt somebody. Now, the psychopaths, sadly, don't have no stops. This is a game for them. Psychopaths and sociopaths, okay, they're different. Psychopath, you want to stay away from, okay? Full stop, boom. Sociopaths, there's a lot of them, okay? Probably 25% of the population is sociopathic. If I get around a psychopathic individual, I will become sociopathic. Fucked up, okay? Weird. Making mistakes, okay? Enjoying arguing with people, calling it a debate, but making them wrong in public, making other people wrong, okay? All I have to do is look at this behavior and go, ooh, that cat's dangerous. That cat's dangerous. That cat's dangerous. And this is what I'm leading to, okay? If you believe that you can move beyond the material universe, the material world that most people believe in, like they go to work every day and they're like, okay, this is my deal. This, never asking themselves, are you loving what you're doing? Okay, because that's sovereignty. Sovereignty is working at a job that you don't call a job. Okay, that actually, you guys that are looking for a job, stop looking for a job. Start looking for something to play. To play, man. Play. Do something that's playful for you in an area that you have affinity for, that you dig. That for some reason you just think is a cool area. It doesn't matter what area it is. It's better if it's a really big area so that you can actually build something around that. Okay? But just going to work every day, like, wow, that's not a goal. I am going to go to work till I'm 65. Well, I'm going to play every day. How's that? And I'm going to make a shitload of money. I am playing every day. I am playing every day. And I make a shitload of money. Pretty easy. Oh, by the way, while I'm making a shitload of money, I am a good guy. I am honest. I am ethical. I am moral. Okay. I don't fuck with people. I don't take things from people. I am a solution, not a problem. If I'm learning how to play soccer, I don't go to a shooting range. If I'm learning how to play soccer, I don't go to the fine arts and study art, and I don't go to rugby matches. Okay. I practice soccer. I get around soccer players. I get around brilliant soccer players. Hey, and some people get around mediocre. Most people get around mediocre. They don't study very much, and they end up being mediocre soccer players. If I am trying to transcend and become the very top of the food chain of humanity, the very top of the food chain, like I'm in the 1%, half 1% club of wealthy people. Oh yeah, wow, that's awesome. If I can get into the financially elite club, most certainly every one of us can get into a much smaller club. Has far less entry requests, by the way, but it's the club of ultimate, perfect, total wealth, and that is sovereignty over one's being, my mind, myself, my world, dude. The way I look at the world, the way I receive data, and the way I transcend or give data out. What's that word? Receive, and then is it transceive? I don't know the word. To me, that's cool, dude. Like, it's easier to get into the I am a great human being club than it is become a seriously wealthy person. The seriously wealthy people aren't there, man. I'm not saying they're not all there, but dude, it's hard when you're rich, okay? It's hard when you're rich. When I mention the Jewish and Israeli thing here, I'm like, oh, dude, somebody's going to sue me. Someone's going to come hit me, okay? And that's how I know that this group is fucked up, because hey, let me say this hey, you Palestinians, I don't know what you did, but clean your act up. Hey, you Catholics, the Church of the Vatican, you rape some children. You're wrong. You're bad. Okay, you're bad, and you disturbed our history. You have distorted history. Okay, so I stopped being a Catholic. I didn't have the Catholic Church fucking come and try to kill me. I studied Scientology for a while. I stopped doing Scientology years and years ago. Okay, I found some cool things out of it. Found some things I didn't really like about it. Like all the other religions, they're run by human beings. And so what? Okay, so what? I have yet to find a solution that is organized, that is telling anyone the truth. Okay. Well, maybe the reason is the truth is inside of me. All I have to do is search it. We spend more time. This has become really, really clear to me, and it wasn't clear to me up until very recently. And I'm going to bore some of you guys with this because I say it a lot, but I have never spent this much of my total available hours of life on I am. I've never ever and I can't believe the progress I have made before I started doing this a couple years ago. Because my life has been magic, and I'm telling you, the only reason it's magic is because this I am thing. I've been doing this since I was 22. I just never told anyone. But like what I just said was, wow, it's easier to become sovereign I am than it is to become very rich financially. It really hit me because it's like, wow, dude, I'm spending so much time on I am now. What does that mean? It means that when I'm around my house, like yesterday, I was like, hey, I could go hang out for a few hours in St. Pete, probably meet a couple of chicks or a woman, talk to a woman, hang out, meet some people. And I'm like, well, that's 3 hours. I'm going to give up. No, it's 3 hours I'm going to invest in a possible, I might meet somebody, which means, I need to meet someone because I'm really not comfortable with just being with me. I'm going to spend 3 hours. No, I'm not going to spend 3 hours like hanging out, drinking a cappuccino, waiting and doing some sketching. But I'm not really just 100% into me, right? So I drove home and I painted for 5 hours. Turn the noise off. After about 30 minutes, an hour, I mean, I start finding myself painting. It's so weird, the stuff we tell ourselves, right? Like, I've always been, I have to have music on if I'm painting. No, I don't. No, I don't. I need to paint. And all of a sudden I'm painting. I don't even know there's no music. The music is in my doing. The music most certainly is not in two people screaming at each other on X, arguing over something neither one of them know anything about. This is the hilarity of it. Okay. This is the actually insanity of it. So I have taken 1 hour to get to this point. Hey, you need to inventory your environment and the radio stations you're sticking your nose into. The radio stations, the noise, the frequency that you are moving your body, your physical presence into. I'm assuming most of you don't have astral projection down to a science. So I have to move my physical body into an environment, maybe auditory, maybe visual. But am I sticking myself into good energy? Okay, that's what I'm asking you to ask yourself every time you go into an environment. Is this good energy or is this negative energy? Is this energy that's going to help me become more sovereign? And I've never really thought about, hey, I'm going to become more sovereign. I don't necessarily think that would be the goal that would turn me on. Uh, but I mean, what more powerful thing than to be able to say, I am 100% sovereign? I mean, that's powerful, man. That is very powerful. I mean, to me, that's true freedom, right? Freedom. Freedom is not free, by the way. Okay. Again, I'm just free balling here, or whatever you call it. But I go to sovereignty, and then I immediately go, wow, sovereignty is really about freedom. Freedom to do what you want to do and what you don't want to do. Freedom is not free. You cannot show me one time in history, anywhere in your life or anyone else's, where freedom was given freely. No, never happened. Okay. By the way, power, okay, power, not one time on this planet has power ever been given to someone. I want you to think about that, okay? No one has ever given you a gram of power. You either decide to step into power and be power, or you don't. But no one gives it to you. In fact, I would say the only way to get power is to be power or take it from someone. I think it's actually around being power, stepping up, being the leader, taking action, not sitting on and a spectator in a space complaining about things. Complaining is not powerful. Okay, complaining is victimhood. That's why I was surprised the guy said, "Hey, you're negative." I have to look at the environment. If I am in a jacked up frequency environment and I'm trying to clean my frequency up, for lack of a better word, okay, you guys can laugh at me. Oh, well, he uses a bunch of weird words. I don't know, man. This is what I'm not going to use. I'm not going to use religious words, and I'm not going to say that everybody that's in here is perfect and that we're the only perfect ones. There's probably 1,000 ways to do this. Okay. This is the way I'm doing it. I am Gary Cardone. I think I am much, much more capable than I've shown anyone, including and most importantly, myself. Okay. I am creative. How creative? See, once I say that to myself, I'm like, wow, well, what does that mean, man? I am creative. Some of you may go, come on, he's not sitting there really thinking about how I am creative. Well, I said that to myself. What does that mean? I am creative. What does that mean? Okay. See, I have to identify, oh, wow, creative. I'm creative artistically. I'm a creative with language. I'm creative with thoughts and ideas, right? I can imagine things that are really crazy, and then I can follow through and try to create them. I am creative. Okay. My experience in doing this is not a brain thing. When Anthony Canaflow or Jennifer Selden go into the IM, and I know Jennifer's been writing, she had to buy herself a new book. She's doing so many of the IMs. If you guys are doing the IMs and you're having good success with them, if you could put some posts out, hey man, I've been going to Gary's thing, I've been doing this, even if you knew about IM before that. Look, this is not an original thought of Gary Cardone's. Okay, I read this somewhere. It made sense to me. Think and Grow Rich, man, Napoleon Hill. I mean, this is not my idea. It wasn't probably their idea. Who cares, dude? You can have the idea. I'm awesome with everyone having this idea, but I am, for the first time in my life, spending more than 10 minutes a week on creating me. I have spent tens of thousands of hours, years building businesses, building a knowledge around oil, gas, and electricity, around payments, around some religions, okay? I mean, millions of dollars and hours and hours and hours of time. But have I made the same investment in self? Have I made the same investment in studying the operating manual of an F-35 Series X? Okay? I mean, I think everybody out there is grossly underutilizing their capacity. I'm maybe at 5 to 8%, 10%. No more than 10% of total operating capacity. It doesn't matter why, by the way. What matters is that I have to acknowledge, wow, dude, I haven't even if you haven't read the operating manual, how the fuck are you operating at max output? You can't, man. Come on. I don't care if you're 88 years old. I'd love to hear from a 90-year-old man or woman in here. Hey, does this make sense to you? Did you under-optimize your operating system? Did you use your sovereignty? Did you use your one of oneness, your capacity to max capability? In fact, that's not a necessary question because I know the answer is going to be no, and then you're going to feel a little disappointment, shame. I don't want a 90-year-old feel any shame, but hey, did you even understand your max capacity? Did you? I think you will find that most people will go, man, I wish I knew what I know today when I was 20. What does that mean? It means that they would have done some things differently because they had more information. But they didn't have the information when they were 20, so they just blew it. Well, you have the information right now. I am Gary Cardone, okay? And I am Gary Cardone when I'm 20, and I may not have all the knowledge I have when I'm 68, but I am Gary Cardone. I am creative, and you want these big for these young people, okay? I am creative. I am a leader. I am honest. I am not a prostitute under any circumstances whatsoever. I don't do the knots very often, okay? And I've seen some of you guys maybe misunderstand what I'm saying about I am not. There's only really one time you need to do the I am nots. It's when you're confused on what you're doing I am on, okay? Just do it the first time. I am not a pharmaceutical salesman. I knew that the first time I looked at that as an opportunity. No, I don't think I want to do that, okay? Fucking for sure. I am not a firefighter, okay? I don't like fires. I don't like getting in a bunch of gear. I am not a football player. I don't like getting hammered on a football field. I am not going to be a baseball superstar. I've had 13 or 14 surgeries. Okay, there's just some things that are just like, hey, this is not happening. By the way, I had no interest in those fields. I'm not going to be a fucking brainiac. And I'm not going to be a physicist. I'm not going to be a chemist. And I'm not going to be a chess player. Those are not negative things. Those are just, hey, dude, don't even bother with them. Just throw those out to the, like over here. Now, what is Gary? I have some energy, okay? It is my job and it's your job to figure out within the complex composite entity that you're running. I think you're running. Are you running yourself? That's a great question, dude. Am I in charge? Am I in charge? Please, would you please all ask yourself that question? Am I in charge? I was in charge last night when John or the gentleman asked me, hey, man, I said, you're being too negative. I didn't even respond to it. I didn't have an emotion to respond to it. 5 years ago, I would have defended it. Okay. Am I in charge? I was most certainly in charge when he said that. It didn't bother me in the least. Like, oh, I'll consider that. Am I in charge? Okay. You might be in charge right now. Ask yourself another question. What percentage am I in charge on a 24-hour basis? You see where I'm going here? Am I in charge? Am I sovereign in every environment? If I'm not, If I walk into an environment, I have massive amounts of doubt and insecurity. We have some work to do. Okay. Gary has some work to do. How do I know? Because Gary has a lot of doubt here. Okay. That's interesting. He doesn't have doubt when he's talking about another subject. So I get to learn something about myself. It's not a bad thing. It's just, am I in charge of my emotions? Okay. Emotions, I think emotions are awesome. Okay. I think emotions are awesome. The only problem with emotions is they don't really accomplish anything. Eh, the only thing they really accomplish, I think oftentimes I and other people don't use emotions uh, in the way I think if I was God, I would have probably inserted this emotion thing to accomplish something. See, I can see that if I see three guys at 2 a.m. in the morning all looking like gangsters and they're coming against me, that I would have some fear and that I might, prepare differently around that fear. Okay. Maybe I carry a gun or maybe I don't walk down that street. But when I wake up in the morning and I'm scared to get a cup of coffee, or I'm scared to get on a space, or I'm scared to go to a meeting, or I'm limiting myself, I have to, hey, what's going on here? Okay. And I'll find somewhere around all that maybe old fear that's no longer real for today's circumstances. Maybe there was an experience I had once. For instance, everyone is scared of speaking. All right. Well, you're scared of speaking. Now, you can say that. I'm scared. Everyone's scared of speaking. You don't need to say it. What you need to do is pick a microphone up. Emotions should be used as well. Emotions for me are my navigation system. They are my speedometer. They're my nav system, my GPS. If I have a lot of fear, that is exactly the area I need to go into. I'm not talking about fear of being attacked instantly, but I'm talking about when I'm scared to speak. If you're scared to speak, the only way you're not going to be scared to speak is to speak until you're not scared. Really, it's not complicated. It's literally about, okay, everyone is scared to speak. Everyone. And just a little advice for anyone that has that fear, you should be using spaces for as long as it's going to be available, and as long as half these spaces are just total bullshit with the same people talking over and over, you should raise your hand and go up and say, hey, look, I'm really scared to come up here. Gary Cardone told me I need to take this time to introduce myself and do some speaking. Okay. My name is Gary Cardone. I've never been up here. I'm scared to speak. It's really, really weird and uncomfortable. But you know what? I wanted to use the platform. Maybe it'll give some other people courage to do the same thing. The only way for you to not have fear over speaking is to speak. And in fact, I would encourage you to speak about the fear. It will disappear as soon as you stick light on it. It's amazing. As soon as like when I'm uncomfortable, I literally know how every speech is going to start. Wow, dude, I didn't expect to be uncomfortable for this crowd. Like I'm a little nervous talking to you guys. Nobody gives a toss, okay? In fact, you like me when I say that because you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know he was scared, dude. He looks like Mr. Umphy Comfy. I'm scared all the time. He makes it look so easy. See? So the emotions for me are indicators of where I need to go and learn. The right thing to do is the right thing. Now, I'm sure people are rolling their eyes going, dude, that guy says this all the time. Yeah, you know why? because it's the right thing to say, because it is the right answer, man. The right thing to do is the right thing. If you're scared to speak, there is no excuse for you today opening up one of these spaces, showing up and saying, my name is Andewish, and I'm from the Netherlands, and I'm 42 years old. I've never spoken here. I'm terrified to do it. Just wanted to introduce myself. Appreciate you guys. And, if allowed, I like to come up some other time when I'm not terrified. Boom. Okay. And you get it out the way. Do one. What's going to happen? What's the worst case, man? Nobody's going to fire you. Okay. No one's going to fire you. And by the way, your fear is stopping me from getting advancements and help. Your emotional weakness, not to confront your emotion, is selfish, okay? It's selfish. Jennifer Selden might benefit from something you have to say. Jennifer probably should speak more often, okay? And by you doing what you do, which is, hey, man, I don't think I have anything to add here, but, my name is Artemis, and good morning to everybody, and gosh, I appreciate you guys, and I'm scared. I don't think I have really any value to add, blah, blah, whatever you say. And then somebody else, oh, wow, they did it. Okay, so by you doing what you need to do, it then creates an avenue for me, and we start spinning each other up, dude. And this isn't a hamster wheel, because there was nothing free here, okay? All you had to do was confront your own internal shit. Okay, there was nothing free. It didn't cost anything, by the way, but it wasn't free. It required you to become something different. Artemis, I cannot speak to anyone. No, okay? Artemis sees Jennifer, whatever. Hey, I want to raise my hand and say, I am Artemis. Okay, and then somebody else, wow, that's cool. See, we start why am I doing this? Because I think you guys will actually go, oh, Gary's cool. If Gary can do this, I can do it. Okay, like the same way, and I trick myself all the time into this stuff, okay? Like, I put this guilt trip on me. Hey, dude, if you do it, maybe Artemis will do it. Okay? If you have enough courage, maybe somebody else out there will go, hey, I can do that too, man. If it's cool enough for him, it's cool enough for me. I remember meeting a guy named John Barr when I was 27 years old. John worked for Morgan Stanley. They just bought 30% of our company. And I'm thinking this guy's a baller, man. I mean, just like Morgan Stanley, Wall Street, private equity, venture capital, M&A. And, because I was not an athlete and I was a little tiny guy, my world was always, wow, look at these champions of commerce, right? They were giants, man, for me. They were like, oh, wow, I finally made it to the big leagues, and I'm actually operating with the big league players, right? I was so excited, and then I met them all. I'm quite disappointed, but where was I headed with that? I was headed somewhere, and it was when I see other people doing great things, it gives me permission to push, okay? But where I was really going with it was like, to see a guy like John Barr show up to a Christmas party. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. And he wrote a poem on the plane. And I'm like, now I have this gangster, like, okay, remember, I asked you the question, hey, I am Gary Cardone, but what does that mean? And who made it up? Did Gary make it? Did I create me? Or did society, did my teachers, did my preachers, did my belief systems about right and wrong, good and bad, and religion and non-religion and sins and mortal sins and all these bizarre things that human beings in the last 250,000 years have created all these rules and dynamics and thoughts and philosophies that may or may not be right or real. We know none of our history, so like we don't know, okay? But am I a composite product of society and how I interpreted that, or am I actually creating who I want to be and who I am designed to be? If there is one designation, I think there's probably a number of opportunities, and I'm just keying in or, locking into the ones that turn me on. Very few people on this planet have spent time going, hey, I'm going to wash all of the stuff about me or about Anwish or Rich Leap, whoever you are. Hey, I am going to decide who I am. Okay. I'm not going to just leave it to my parents to tell me these stories. I am Gary Cardone, okay? I am a different Gary Cardone than I was 7 years ago. Every cell in my body has died and been replenished. Every 7 to 12 years, I have a magnificent pivot. Like my life has been unbelievably magical. Some people would probably look at it and go, dude, that's terrifying, okay? But I literally have had 1, 2, 5 careers. And by career, I mean, I spend 15 years, 10 years in an area and become, really, really, really good at it. That my whole identity is wrapped around this field. And I had to do that. I had to go through all of those, learning how to be a teenager and then all these different periods. I have them all aged out. With 0 to 12, 12 to 22, 22 to 32, 32 to 50, 50 to 60, and then after 60, it's a whole different game. These are all real cycles, and every one of them big, chunky adventures. And then I look at other people and go, wow, that guy had one adventure in business. He had one wife. And that's cool. I think that's awesome if you can, have an awesome life and be one thing. And for me, it would have been boring. Okay. For me, it would have been, well, I just get bored easy. See, I knew enough about I am when I was 38 to know, hey, I am not like everyone else. Okay. Sorry, it's my favorite one. I am not like everyone else. Can you guys all write that down? Because it's true. It's true. Okay. You've never written it down before. You've never had anyone acknowledge it. You've never had anyone really push it out there and go, I mean, I just did it. Okay. And I've been doing this a long time. I am not like everyone else. It's okay. It's awesome, dude. It's 1, true. 2, fucking own it. I am most certainly not like everyone else. I can make some funny, weird jokes about I'm not like anyone else, okay, and be a little negative. But the truth is, on a positive note, I am not like everyone else. I have a level of capability, and therefore I have a responsibility level. See, my shame, like, hey, the right thing to do is the right thing to do. I cannot come to this planet with a bunch of skills and talents and capabilities, especially after doing I am. I mean, there are some things that I'm good at, okay? I am a good communicator. I am. I could not communicate for the rest of my life. Well, I am a good communicator in some circumstances. There are areas that I am not a good communicator, okay? Like I have flaws in on a personal, like a romantic. I'm not the best communicator. I'm most certainly not this type of communicator. I am a leader. Okay. You cannot take this away from me. I can pretend like I'm not. You can maybe help me pretend like I'm not, but I am most certainly have the skills of a leader. Okay. Part of that's the communication. Part of that's the backbone and the shame also. Okay. Like if I see a group of people, if there's 50 people in a room and I can't spot who's running the deal, it pretty much tells me I am probably the guy that needs to lead the deal. Or if shit hits the fan, make sure I know who aren't the leaders. Okay. So, and there are times when I'm not the leader, I am a follower, and I need to identify myself as a follower, a learner, a student, a soldier, and I need to bring and deliver the skills of being that soldier, the follower, the watcher, the spectator. It might be, oh, he's clapping. It might be I pay my fee. It might be I support in some way. Okay, I show up, but I'm not leading, and I'm not pretending to lead. I'm not interfering with the leaders. I'm bringing value and being a spectator, a student, a listener. And I can most certainly do a better job as being a listener, sharing my listening with other people. Okay, that's how I help the leaders. Give the information out to other people, try to bring in other people, listen, take on the experience of what I'm learning, and show my results. Why am I saying all this? Because I think that just based on my own experience, especially with all the noise I saw this week and last week, and I think that we're getting ready to have more and more and more noise. We're reaching, new levels of insanity. I think you and I have to become more judicious about where we're. I would not have sex the way I stick my head into social media. I think everybody can agree on that, okay? That is a very interesting analogy. I would most certainly would not hang out for hours and hours and hours romantically the way that I interact with people on social media. And maybe a very odd, weird analogy, but first off, okay, and this is just me observing things. I'm not trying to be negative, but I am trying to improve the scene. And the scene for me needs to be, I need to not be confused. I need to not trick myself or waste energy with people or entities or energy that appears to be good, but it's not. It's not good, okay? It's there for the wrong reason, okay? So one thing I think is very, very healthy is I ask myself, hey, what's my intention for being here? Is it to blow 2 hours? Is it to laugh? Is it to be around some buddies and just kill some time? Cool, dude. Awesome. Is my intention to help? Is my intention to learn? Is my intention to escape something I should be doing? These are all intentions, and it is only you and your sovereignty that can answer that question. Once I've answered the question of what my intentions are, I then get to, once that decision's made, I then get to go into the environment, and I start asking myself, what is the intention of Grant Cardone? What is the intention of Andish? What is the intention of this speaker? What is the intention of Mel M? Okay. What is Artemis's intention? Okay, that's one question. And then, hey, what am I seeing from these people? Okay, what is the byproduct or the proof of work that shows up behind that intention? Are they exciting? Are they constantly in debates? Are they constantly at the center of arguments and energy that leads to disruption? Like, what's their product? What is the fruit falling from the tree? And when I see the fruit is different than what the intention is said, I'm like, hey, one of these is off. Okay. You either have your intention is weird and misstated, or you're just fouling up. Okay. But it's going to be very clear. Okay. The reason I'm sharing this, dude, I can't have this much great energy. So I can get off track very easy. Remember, we said this is the road less traveled for sure. Okay. This is the road less traveled. This is not the easiest thing in the world to do. The easiest thing in the world to do is to go unconscious. I've had 2 surgeries on this shoulder and gonna need another one probably. Okay. These muscles are never ever going to get fixed because I've had this thing 20 years. Okay. I've like 20 years. There's tiny little muscles in there I've spent no attention on. It most certainly isn't going to get better. It's not going to get better with no attention and no intention. I am muscle. Okay. I never had any surgeries on me. Everything's been a surgery. It's been trauma, since birth. I've spent very little time inventorying what's all in here and what I actually believe. This muscle does not need distraction. Okay. What I need to do is go, okay, I am. Okay. Listen, negative people will hate me doing I am. People that love chaos and confusion, I will be laughed about. Okay. By the way, anyone laughing at a guy like me for doing this, and I have heard people, oh yeah, he's doing that I am thing. These are awesome tales. Okay. When people, I don't care how smart or how nice you think they are, when people bash people with good intention, beep, let the warning alarms fucking go off, dude. Okay. Let them go off. What is the intention? What is my intention? I am not like everyone else. This is the best thing that came out of this show this morning. Okay. I hope you guys really got that. I've never said that to myself in my entire life. I mean, I have said it, but like, I've never said it publicly. Like, I am not like everyone else. I am not like everyone else, yet I'm comparing all my emotions with other people. I'm comparing my insecurity and the way I feel about myself relative to John Barr, who I admired, didn't even know the guy. Still remember the cat's name. Met him once, wrote a poem, can't remember the poem. Don't know if it was any good or not, but all I remember was, wow, that guy's a commercial assassin. And he also writes poems. Guess what that did? It turned me on. I think it actually is the thing that gave me permission to try art. I was like, well, if it's cool for him, it's cool for me. That's why I'm doing this, okay? Because I think people think I'm cool. And I am cool, okay? Dude, I think it's super cool what I'm doing. Super cool, super fly cool is, hey, I am not like everyone else. And I'm going to spend, without being like crazy and stupid, I am going to become a more me or all of me. Okay. And part of that is learning about parts of me I have never exercised ever. I have never exercised the subtle muscles. Okay. And I think that is what the art is about for me. It's not so much about doing the art. It's about learning something different. And I can't actually tell anybody how significant this exercise has been for me. It's been staggering. I mean, I would pay large amounts of money to learn what I've learned in the last 18 months just from doing this show. I mean, seriously, it's been unbelievable. It's not doing the show, it's doing the show authentically, because this show is really about me attempting to offer a solution to humanity that, like, you do not need AI for this, okay? In fact, AI isn't going to help you with this one. Okay? You're still going to have to figure out who you are, because you're not AI. You're not your AI, and you're not anybody else's AI. I am not like everyone else. I am acting like myself in its true sense. I am not acting like other people. I don't need you to affirm that I'm not like everyone else. I already know it, man. Okay? Like, once you know, oh, wow, shit, I'm not like everyone else. Why is it, if we're not like everyone else, we're all looking for what everyone else says they're looking for? And I'm hearing this all over the place, man. I'm hearing this quite a bit from women, actually. I need a man. Oh, I'm so lonely. I need a man. I need a man. I need a man. I'm like, dude, you have time by yourself. Do the thing by yourself right now. Like, if you have time by yourself right now, you don't have a child and you don't have a husband or a boyfriend or a girlfriend to, like, deal with, to invest in. It's it's kind of hard for me to invest in other companies and other things when I haven't made my full investment allocation to Bitcoin. If I haven't made my full allocation investment into Gary Cardone, how good of a partner am I going to be with an Artemis? Okay, I haven't even done my own shit, dude. Okay, and it's not like it's going to be, but the moment I no longer have a need to get lost in someone else so that I don't have to look at myself is the moment I become more able, okay, to be me. How can I get involved in anything and I don't fully understand who I am and what my capabilities are and what I want? Okay? What maybe I would, maybe not what I want. I won't necessarily spend my time doing this every morning Sunday. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. It doesn't matter if I want to or not. It doesn't matter if I'm happy about doing it. It doesn't matter if I think I'm doing a good job or a bad job. It doesn't matter if 300 people show up here or not. It matters. This is what I was told to do. I made a commitment to do it. I will do it until it no longer has the results that it's having. And I'll do it until people say, hey, like, there's no new people. Nobody's showing up. Okay. It's ran its course. I must have done something wrong, or it just ran its course. So there's a lot of noise in the world. You can't deny it. We're probably a lot more worse off than we think we are. And the reason I say that is because, and maybe this was why the guy was saying I was being negative, is you don't hide this much information when everybody knows there's something weird going on. So there just must be something even bigger that maybe humanity can't really confront. Me, I'm pretty cool with confronting truth. Like, hey, if we're the emotional sinkhole, or some kind of weird host for aliens and lizards and whatever, run by a bunch of pedophilia and crazy aliens, evil people. Kind of depressing, right? Why is it depressing? Because we thought everything we believed they were better. But how could they possibly be better when no one's ever done any of the stuff we're talking about doing right now? For most of the last hundreds of years, I mean, basically, I am competing with my neighbor. Look, this is how I grew up. I am better than him. I need to work harder than he does so I can compete with him. I need to bid higher than he bids so that I can buy the best house. I need to lie to that lady so I get that job. I need to do this so that I'm appear this way. I go to school for 4 years, get a degree, hate my life, and then I get to know a bunch of people, and then I take another job, and I hate that job. But, I follow the family line, and I'm now 62 years old. I've never really done anything that I want to do, but I have a lot of money. And I run my dad's business, which I hate. I'm married to a woman that I don't like. She doesn't like me, but we're too scared to get divorced because, I mean, the fallout socially would be horrific. You see? Okay, this is a no-brainer for anyone, okay? Like, you have no good choices here other than this. Everything else is a total waste of time. You can make $8 million more. You can make $800,000 more. You can make $8 billion. More money I make, the less people I have around me. And this is most certainly is not about money. Okay, I know it's hard for you if you don't have any money. Like, oh yeah, it is about money, but I am not like everyone else, and that by default means I am going to spend time with myself, all by myself. I came to this planet naked and alone, and I will leave this planet naked and alone. I can't go with anyone. The journey, in my opinion, the journey in this suit, dude, it's a solo journey. Doesn't mean I can't have an experience with somebody, but I can't change her journey either. The moment I become a problem for her journey, I'm cool with being jettisoned. Okay, I don't want to hang out in a trajectory that's creating gravity. I want less gravity. Okay, I am free. I am free means I am not tied down with a bunch of stupid belief systems. Shame and guilt and fear. Like, who cares, man? Okay. I've kind of been dancing around this, but you're going to have to make a decision, do an inventory of the gravity in your universe. If my twin brother starts acting like gravity on my ass, I will kick him out of my social system. I will kick him out of my universe. Seriously, okay? If my brother is going to do anything to hold me down, I'm out, okay? That's the way everyone should think of this. There is absolutely no reason, okay? No reason, unless it's a weird one, no reason why I don't want everybody in here rocking it, okay? You're not going to take anything from me. You're actually going to help me. Okay, you're going to help me go, oh, wow, they have the one, oh, wow, this is working. Two, they have the courage to go do it. Okay, it's a little bit like the example I used on, hey, come into a space. I want to see this week. I want to see people coming into spaces that I'm in, and I want you to introduce yourself and say, hey, my name's Bob. My name's Stephen Carrillo. My name's Artemis, and I haven't said anything. I listened to Gary the other day. I'm a little scared to talk, and I want to talk. Okay? And then tell people, oh, wow, that wasn't so hard. And talk about your fear. Okay? Talk about, oh, I'm sad today. Okay, cool, dude. You're sad. Okay, now me, I ain't going to listen to the sadness forever and ever. Okay? If you've been betrayed and you're angry, I got it. Now, here's a lesson for you. You get to decide how long you're going to be angry. Dude, you decide how long you're going to be angry. Are you going to be angry forever? If so, stay the fuck away from me. If you're going to be angry for a day over a betrayal after 15 years, good, dude. A day's about right. Why would you spend more than a day being really angry? Some chick betrays you, man. Some guy betrays you. You got hooked up with a narcissist because you're an empath. Whatever, man. Be angry. Cool. How long? Don't be bitter. Okay? I do not want to go to my grave, which I won't have, but I will not. I'm terrified to die sitting on my deathbed going, wow, dude, I was just a punk. Okay? Did not do what I should have done. The right thing to, Gary, you knew what the right thing to do was. See, I'm trapping every one of you people, including myself, okay? The right thing to do is the right thing. I will constantly ask that. You do a program with me over a weekend. Hey, man, what's the right thing for you? This is really, really simple, okay? There aren't 32 answers. Okay, now I know guys that can't answer that question. I know people that cannot answer that question of what the right thing to do is in any situation. Am I in charge? I'm just going to summarize some of the things we talked about. I think that's a really interesting topic. Next week, we were going to talk about voices and who is in command of the communication between yourself and yourself. Yourself and yourself, or yourself and yourselves. I find this to be really fascinating, how many conversations are going on in a human being's, universe. I am not like everyone else, and I ain't going to act like it, okay? In fact, I am in touch with how different I am from everyone, and I'm in touch with how similar I am. My differences do not need to be superior. They do not need to be inferior. Okay, they're not right or wrong. Dude, they just are. Look, there's going to be people that do things. Oh, I am they do something totally different than me. I don't understand it. Don't know it. They want to be a bee collector. Okay, cool. If everybody's just doing their genius, it's going to be a genius world we live in. Wrote down a couple of other things in here. Imagine how often we are listening to people in meetings, in spaces, at the office, in our family. How many are charged? Okay, how many of these people have emotional baggage, emotional charge? They're in the middle of a divorce. They haven't told anyone, okay? They're drinking a lot. They have a fight. They have a weird, interest romantically in getting something accomplished. Like there's so many intentions and agendas going on. But if they're bringing charge to your party, charge energy. Intention is an energy, man. I mean, you can feel my energy, can you not? Like it should be palatable. It should be some. That cat's got frequency. I am attempting to push. My intention is to push positive energy through this camera, okay, such that you feel it. Now, do you know how crazy that sounds? Why do I need to say that out loud? Because one, I believe I can do that. Two, I think you're going to be like, can someone actually do that? Yes, I think I can push energy through a camera if I intend to do it. And if I intend to do it and you felt the energy, just like I don't care if it's 1/10 of 1 kilowatt, if anything you felt minimally, whoa, that cat believes in what he's saying. If you believe that I believe in what I'm saying, you just felt my energy. That's all I'm trying to do. Boom. Okay. If I can do that through a camera, man, we can do this without the camera. Okay? And the big mouse, the loud mouse, the most active people in the world, dude, their charge is off the charts. Okay? And we're not countering it. I'm not countering it. I don't need to be around that motherfucker. Okay? No, I'm not sticking my nose in this. I'm going to pick up some red paint. I'm going to pick up a paintbrush. Okay? I'm going to pick up a book. I'm going to write a poem. I'm going to do a diary. My daughter started reading part of her diary to me the other day. I'm like, dude, you should do this every day of your life, okay? And then Gary, you should do this every day. My daughter is doing a diary, and I'm like, dude, why did I stop? Why did I stop writing every day? It costs nothing. And Netflix costs you $17. Costs you nothing. Wait, excuse me, $10. $10. I've used this for a year in this room. Okay, just two last things. One, I've had an awesome week. Thank you for listening to me today. Thank you for putting up with my ramblings. My intention is not to ramble. My intention is to communicate a really solid message. And sometimes I have to bounce around and just be really authentic in what I'm learning and how I'm communicating and what's coming through me to share. What I learned is I have to continue to clean my garden. Okay, I am a magnificent garden. I've done very little work to till the soil, fertilize it, understand the complexity of it, understand the capacity of it. Okay, this is a monster garden. Okay, this garden has tremendous ability to do lots of different things. Now I can't do them all together in the same exact spot, so I have to clean my garden. Okay, I have to organize it. I have to look at it. I have to pay attention to my garden. And my intention when I pay attention to my garden is that it's abundant. Abundant. Okay, it doesn't have a bunch of weeds in it. It's not ugly. It's not poisonous. It's abundant. I need to visualize goodness and not evil, okay? I'm either actively visualizing good or I am inactively and constantly imagining something that's not. It's based on a bunch of stuff. Ooh, they might hurt me. They might stop doing business with me. Lots of other things, okay? But I need to visualize wonder and greatness and goodness in much greater volume than I do evil. I'm being broadcasted, and I am being like, we are all being like broadcasted to with tons of energy, and I think we're in near overwhelm. In that overwhelm, it's going to be very, very difficult to stay clear on, what's the right thing to do? Okay, who am I again? I forgot who I was. Oh shit, I thought I was just everyone else. I thought I was, one of the 7 billion people on planet Earth that's just supposed to pay attention and do whatever they're told to do. No. I am Gary Cardone. I'm unique, unlike any other creature on this planet. And I am here for a reason, okay? I am not here to be a robot. I am not here to be a follower. I am here to be aware and conscious and communicate what is going on and learn more about myself and become more me, more. And I think I've tapped into. You should ask yourself, how much of you have you tapped into? Okay, when you do that as a percentage, by the way, the correct answer is not achievable 100%. Okay, you're going to be single digits at best. I shouldn't have said that to you, but and that's the good news. Imagine if you're only 3% conscious, All you got to do is go to 4, dude. That's a 25% increase. That's a monster increase, okay? I need to disconnect from nefarious sources, period. I need to disconnect, disengage, cut out, unfollow, block, stop, say no to, people or activities participating in chaos, mayhem, noise, anger, debate, aggressive debate. Look, you're responsible for the places you're going to, okay? And they can be virtual and they can be real. If I'm going to a whorehouse every weekend and trying to do these, and then binge drinking on Sunday and Monday at some gay parlor getting blowjobs, okay? Like, none of this is congruent, okay? Come on. It's not consistent. So I need to look at who I'm listening to, who I'm watching, who I'm learning from. I don't listen to people that are confused, angry, bitter, and they're surrounded by chaos. I don't. And I cut them out of my garden. I don't let these people come in my garden. They're going to urinate on my garden, okay? With mental vomit and abstractions and conflations that are born from who knows? Who knows where they're born from? Okay, guys, I really appreciate you. I am honoring myself with my sovereignty. I am going to give myself and give you, I owe it to you to be sovereign, man. I owe it to you to be an original, not to be a fake. I'm a one of one, okay? I'm not a chaos merchant. I don't need to be a chaos merchant. Chaos merchants are terrified. They're not one of one enough. I am a one of one. You're a one of one. I'm the only one that can decide whether I'm sovereign or not. It is my decision to be sovereign. It is my decision to be sovereign. Once I decide I am sovereign, I must step into huge responsibility. Okay, there's no sovereignty without responsibility. Freedom is not free, and then nobody gave anybody any power ever. I am not like everyone else. My intentions will lead the path, okay? Okay, last thing you guys need to do, and I'm going to get another cup of coffee. Really appreciate everyone here. Today, in the next 11 hours and 32 minutes, you have to go out and help somebody today. Help somebody in a way that nobody else knows. You do not get to take credit for this. You can't tell us about it next week. You can't tell your boss. You can't brag to your kids about it. Don't brag, don't brag, don't brag. Bragging is not cool. Okay? Bragging is not cool. I am not a bragger. Okay? For God's sakes. I don't need to hear about every stock decision you've made that's perfect. Okay? See, these are things that I'm like, why do you need to tell me what you did 37 times? Like your job's, I don't need to tell you what I did when I was 22 years old, dude. It's gone. It's history. I am Gary Cardone right now, okay? You guys need to go out. Be nice to somebody today. We get 1,200, 2,000 people doing something nice for somebody. That's 4,000 people that got help, okay? And if you think 50% of the people that you helped, there's somebody else watching you do a nice deed, dude, there's another 1,000 people. 5,000 people were benefited from this one or 2 hour thing today. You guys go out, help somebody, be nice to somebody, repost this space, send this recording to a family member, man. Invite them to come here. Okay. I don't know how to get more people in these rooms. I want more people in the room so that we can dilute some of the negative, loud voices, because these spaces are not increasing. We really need to get more people in all these spaces. So our community is growing. It's just growing slow, and I get frustrated with that. Guys, I really appreciate you. Love you so much. Thank you for helping me. Okay, thank you for being patient enough and letting me go through my weirdness and helping me, because I have received so much value. Real quickly, just say to some of my friends that I'm seeing just now, because I'm just looking at the comments. Wow, a lot of comments. Lucas Nash, Yvonne Sayers is here. Thank you, Yvonne, for being here. Goover Gunnar Morris, thanks. Scotty Doran, just swap it's here. Vahid Azador, awesome dude. Mel M, of course, good to see you, sweetie. The Carl, 8 7s. You guys are great, man. Prometheus, Nadies. Hey, Nadies, what's up, buddy? Good to have you. I think I feel negative around me all the time. It's a fight. Yeah, it is, dude. It is. You've mastered the energy projection 100%. I don't know about that, but I'm getting better at it. I am. Can you feel it, Jennifer? See, that was scary for me to say. Pretty scary for somebody to go, hey, I am pushing energy through this camera and you're feeling it. Look, that's an outlandish statement, okay? That is me, truly. This is why I get so irritated with hyper-religious people, because I get these, hey, you need to pray more, you need Jesus, look, my faith, fuck that religious bullshit, okay? I am showing great faith in just expressing, hey, I'm going to push energy through this fucking camera and you're going to feel it. Dude, I know you can feel it. If you can't feel it, you should be like, wow, what am I missing? You call Jennifer up and ask her if she felt it, okay? So if I can do that, one, I think it's cool that I was willing to say it. Two, if I can do that, so can you, man. Dude, that's powerful, okay? Like, we're talking about telekinesis at some point. Like, if this is no different, I am moving you. It's more important than material. It's more important than me moving a ball across the table. I can move another human being's mind. My God, man. Do you understand the responsibility and power of that? And we can all do that, okay? We can all do that. Just tap into your genius, okay? Look at this guy, Phil again. Thanks, Mon. Michael Cooper, good to have you here. Be nice always. Thank you, man. Yeah, you're going to go out and be nice to somebody today, aren't you? Yes, needed this today. Good, buddy. You're a good man. You just keep doing what you're doing, dude. Hey, you know what, guys? It's not always, if you think my life is always like, oh, Gary's always doing it, dude. Tuesday and Wednesday, I thought I wanted to, jump in the pool and not come back. It's not, I just was, okay, I just got to move through it, man. I paint a little bit, do some things, take a nap, and I move through it. It doesn't last forever, okay? I don't have to make a big show out of it every time. I'm not perfect. I am moving toward perfection. All right, you guys go out and have a great day. Love you so much. Thank you. Sorry I didn't acknowledge everybody that's been in the room. Blockchain Becky, good to have you here. Have been loved. Giggy, good to have you here, Giggy. I was good. Peace and love. Robert, Mary, Les, Silver, he sold a block, whatever that means. Hey, guys, peace. Take care. Be strong. Be nice. Okay, how do I kill this?